It's gonna be such a mess.
Welcome to our first podcast. How
What do you want me
fun.
to say?
What's the podcast called?
um, it's okay. So we need to explain first. We need to explain why this is happening.
I guess, but you could say the name and then we can explain it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's called That's What You Missed because we are Gleeks at heart. We identify as Gleeks, and so I don't know. Ryan Murphy. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, and I think especially in this time, every Glee and every Ryan Murphy stan has come from the woodworks and
Well,
they're all out in the public. And I think
they're finally out and about.
that like we've been wanting to do this, but we didn't know if there was an audience.
Yeah,
But now we see that audience
and
and
also, yeah,
we like to talk. So
we don't know how to shut up. And also, like, okay, so originally, like, what I had planned is like, oh, we'll introduce ourselves and we'll talk a little bit about whatever Ryan Murphy announced, and then we'll go into whatever show we're talking about. Since we finished Hollywood, he's announced like 7,000 different things. Where I'm like, never mind, we can't do it anymore because
yeah,
he like announces things all the time,
yeah.
and so I'm like,
So
okay, I guess
this
yeah,
is a lucrative podcast.
yeah, we have content
There's content for days.
forever,
Like
literally forever,
literally for like Glee alone is gonna take us like
years.
so many episodes, like so many things. Like I'm gonna get tired of watching Glee. Like we're gonna
Me
have to like
too.
like the politician. We're gonna have to insert like I have to like get my big girl pants on and start watching American Horror Story because I've never
Oh,
watched any of it
I
besides like the
love
first
it.
episode of the first season.
No, but you haven't seen anything.
No, besides that one episode of Murder House, I've never.
You're gonna like it.
I'm just such a wimp.
No, but I'm not even kidding. Like set design and like costume design is like 50% of the show.
Yeah, I do look at the pictures a lot.
Yeah, especially like the period pieces, like where
Yes.
they're like in the 20s or the 40s or whatever, or the Lady Gaga season. That was in present time, but I think they won an Emmy for costume design for that.
I wouldn't doubt it. But like, this is exactly what the point of this is. Is
Yeah.
just the,
Okay,
I was gonna
so
make a
no, go
but
ahead.
I'm not
No, say
no,
it.
I
No,
don't
say
want
it now.
we're gonna it's so bad. I
Yeah.
don't wanna do it.
No, you already started it.
Uh,
Are you really not?
I was gonna say we're gonna gleek out on all this right.
Never mind. I wish you hadn't said it. No, so we're starting off. We're going to do a little icebreaker. We're going to do Ryan Murphy and Darren Criss tweeted this yesterday, I think. It's a what character, we're not knowing how to read. Which character from the Ryan Murphy cinematic universe are you? Also, I like how it's cinematic, even though he hasn't made a single movie.
I love that so much. Like I literally like I love that it's because it is.
It is. No, it is.
Universe.
No, it literally is. You know, I saw him at my mall once. I don't know if I told you this.
You did. You sent me.
Oh, I did. I think I took pictures of it. They were filming prom, and so I was like,
doing this, but
no, there were people were like standing. They had like secret like assistants all around the mall. So if anyone started recording, they would be like, "Hey, we're gonna need you to delete that." Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't ask you what they were filming because you
Oh,
probably
prom.
So
I don't think it's that secret.
Yeah, it was on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter.
It was everywhere.
Everything's fine.
It was literally a dance number. I don't know how they were gonna keep that a secret.
I'll wait for that to come out.
I think it comes out November. No.
I have no idea, but I'm so excited. Anyways.
Okay, so do you have it pulled up? Do you have the quiz pulled up?
Yes, I have it pulled up.
Okay, we're gonna have to read it because I don't know if people are watching this or listening to this. So
you start. We'll trade off.
Okay. If your life was a TV show, what genre would it be? Horror, supernatural, musical, drama, comedy, or romance?
I would.
Horror and supernatural, the same thing.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. I'm between musical and comedy because with the way I am now, it would be a comedy because I don't like singing in public. But I think like that would be like the concept of the show is like, oh, she doesn't like singing in public, but her life is a musical.
You thought about this? You literally thought about this.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I think comedy. I want it to be horror, but my life is too boring to be a horror movie, so I'm just gonna do comedy. Okay.
Choose an iconic guest star from the Ryan Murphy cinematic universe. The options. Oh, we didn't read the options.
I read the options for the other one.
You did. Kate Hudson, Glee. Lady Gaga, AHS Hotel. Nick Jonas, Scream Queens. Naomi Campbell, AHS Hotel. Max Greenfield, Assassination of Gianni Versace, which I am so excited to. I have so many feelings about that show.
Me too. Me too.
And then Britney Spears, Glee. I'm definitely gonna pick Max Greenfield.
What?
100%.
Out of all of these?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I disagree. First of all, I don't remember Naomi Campbell being in Hotel at all.
Your opinion. So.
Okay. I think I'm going to do... I mean, also Lady Gaga was pretty much the star of that season, so I don't know. Like, she literally was the main character, so I don't know if that counts as a guest star, but I think I'm going to do Britney Spears.
I also... Okay, so I was thinking, like, Nick Jonas because that is... Him and Ariana Grande were kind of, like, the sole reason why I watched Scream Queens in the first place. But I just, like, I love the Assassination of Gianni Versace so much. And also the place I intern at currently does that. So, like, I just kind of, like...
So you have to. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Brittany and you're going to go with Max. Okay. You're walking down the street and feel the urge to sing. Which song are you belting? Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, Blackbird by the Beatles, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, Heroes by David Bowie, and Hey Soul Sister by Train. I'm seeing this in my head, and there's only one that works. In my opinion. One? The Queen one.
Okay. Yes. So I want to say the Queen one, but I know in my heart it's Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. And that's what I'm choosing.
Okay.
Because I love Freddie Mercury so much, and I feel like if I were to actually sing that, like, seriously in public, I would just myself. So.
Well, you feel that? I think it's, no one knows it's happening. It's a musical. It doesn't exist. It doesn't really happen.
I guess. Sure.
Anyway. Okay.
You don't stop me now. That's your final decision.
Yeah, that's my final choice.
So, next question. Now pick another fabulous character from the Ryan Murphy Cinematic Universe. Rachel Berry, Pray Tell, Pose, which is
what?
So good.
I know. That. I haven't seen the second season, but the first season is great.
That's like, I'm just going to keep on saying, I love that show.
No, yeah, me too.
I love all of it. Anyways, Dr. Brock Holt, Scream Queens, Peyton Hobart, Marie Laveau, and Donovan. See, if it was John Stamos as the dentist in Glee, then I would pick him.
That's a different thing, yeah.
That is a totally different thing. Because in Glee, absolutely loved him. Scream Queens, I was just kind of like...
That season was so... We need to focus. We're literally just going to keep saying our opinions on everything. I didn't like the second season of Scream Queens, but whatever. I hate Rachel Berry. Sorry. I literally hate her so much. She's the most obnoxious character of anything ever.
Now that I'm older, I understand that she was obnoxious, but in, like, when I was watching it the first time, like, while it was happening, I was like, I love her. I want to be
like
Rachel.
How powerful.
Yeah, literally. I was like, powerful queen.
She's so annoying. I literally, because originally we were going to do, this was the first episode was going to be Glee. So we had, like, started watching it and I started keeping notes. I literally had a counter for how many times Rachel whined about, like, missing a solo. And I was on 7 and it was like, I was almost done with the first season. I was like, she's so annoying. That
was her personality trait. Anyways, I'm going to pick Peyton Hobart because...
I figured.
The
same energy. Yes. I'm going to go with Marie Laveau. You don't know who she is yet, but she's amazing. Cool. Okay. Choose an old Hollywood film to watch. Casablanca, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Citizen Kane, It Happened One Night, Singing in the Rain, or Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
I'm picking Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I'm picking Whatever Happened to Baby Jane because it's the only one that's like, like, ooh, a mystery. I guess.
My reasoning is because
it's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
You don't really need a reasoning for that one.
Now choose a Ryan Murphy project to watch. These are fun. The New Normal, Nip Tuck, Eat, Pray, Love. I didn't know that was Ryan Murphy.
I didn't either.
Pose, Feud. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a lot of these. The Normal Heart.
I've only seen Pose. I haven't seen any of these other things.
I've seen Eat, Pray, Love.
I have not. I hate rom-com.
I forgot Nip. That was like a big deal. That was like stuff our parents watched was Nip Tuck.
That's an old show. I didn't. That was his first show. No, yeah.
I've never heard of Feud.
I have. It's based on the one I just picked, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Uh-huh.
It's like what happened behind the scenes and like the two actresses like drama like behind the scenes.
Oh, wait, I love that.
They only had one season. It's kind of like it supposedly it was gonna be every season was a different like super famous like feud. Yeah.
What?
But
When
they
was,
only did one season of it.
when did, oh, sorry.
Like 2018. No, I don't care.
They must have not marketed well because that sounds like something like, especially people our age
Yeah.
love, because people our age love drama.
I think
So,
it's because it was like an old Hollywood thing, so it was a very specific audience.
which is funny because what we're talking about today
Literally.
is all Hollywood.
Okay,
So
what are you gonna pick?
I'm
Oh,
gonna
to
pick,
watch. Okay, I guess it's like since we don't really know any of them.
oh, to watch. Well, I'm gonna pick Feud then.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen it. It sounds interesting. All right, and then finally, how would your friends describe you? Determined, radiant, charming,
I feel like
misunderstood,
for each other.
multifaceted, and fabulous.
Okay,
This question came out of nowhere.
for you,
Oh, we're picking it for each other?
yeah,
Okay.
I would say
What does multifaceted mean?
I was gonna say multifaceted. Like
What
you're
does that
just
mean?
like you're good at a bunch of different things. Like
Okay.
yeah.
And then for you, I was gonna pick determined.
T. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, who did you get?
I got Blaine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, read the little thing.
Okay. I got Blaine Anderson from Glee. Your caring nature and charismatic attitude make you everyone's favorite person to be around. You can easily steal the spotlight, but instead you share it with others, which makes everyone love you that much more. You get just as much pleasure from the successes of others as you do your own. T.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're like, well, you just care that it was Blaine from Glee.
Yeah.
Okay, I got Chanel Oberlin from Scream.
That's who I got the first time I took this quiz.
Really?
Was
Okay, it says, the devil wears Prada, more like Boss Bitch wears Chanel number 5. You were the queen bee and everyone knows it. You don't sugarcoat anything and you tell it like it is. You don't care if people love you, hate you, envy you, and oh my god, I can't read. Envy you or just want to be you. All that matters is that they can't stop talking about you. I mean, I guess.
I feel like some points are valid.
Yeah. It's also a BuzzFeed quiz. Not like, I don't know what I was expecting.
I'm taking it very seriously.
No,
Personally.
yeah. No, me too.
And also, like, the parallels between me and Blaine, and also just Darren Chris in general, is that we're both...
I think more specifically Darren Chris than Blaine.
Sure.
What? Did you go to an all-male boarding school where you joined the Glee Club?
Anyways.
Okay.
That was...
Yeah.
Okay, we started. A little bit more about us.
No, yeah.
And, leave a comment down below.
Can people leave comments on podcasts? I don't even know.
No, but if we upload this to YouTube.
Oh, I guess if you're watching this and
yeah, if you're watching this, jury's out on the podcast aspect. I have no idea if people can comment on that.
If you can, do it, and I guess we'll see it, and that'll help us.
Cool.
Okay, let's start with Hollywood.
Cool.
Ryan's is this his first Netflix show? Yes. No, it's not.
What's his? Oh, The Politician.
The Politician. So it's his second, I guess, big project with Netflix. He like dished FX so quick. No, is that T? I don't know. Can I say that?
I don't think so because is he still doing American Crime Story?
Yes, and American Horror Story. So I guess but he signed a huge deal with Netflix.
Yeah, but like he's multifaceted.
Okay, I guess that's a good point. No, yeah. Sometimes he needs to calm down. In my opinion,
like he's gonna use Netflix as like a place to do more experimental things,
Yes.
FX, he kind of like
it's still broadcast, and yeah.
And there's kind of like a formula that I feel he has to follow in like some sort of aspect with FX, but with Netflix, it's kind of like the new frontier.
Right. And you can do whatever you want, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Netflix is like, whatever you like, just do it.
Yeah, they're like, we'll throw money at almost anything at this point.
No, they literally will.
I'm thankful for, though, because we do a lot of cool things. But anyway, Hollywood.
So,
personally, my emotional, like, as soon as this was announced, month, like, probably like
a year ago, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh.
Me too.
This is everything to me, because I love anything, like, I'm like literally one of those old men that would vote for the Oscars. Like, if it's about Hollywood, I'm there. And I'm standing, even if it's mediocre.
Me too. I agree. It's because also I feel like we should have mentioned we are both film students. And so if there's one thing film students love, it's talking about themselves and making podcasts and like Hollywood things that are like film related. And so I feel like this was for a very specific audience, which is us. Because like it's such a specific show. Like it's like an alt history, like okay, I'm gonna read you the little I don't know what this is called, the tagline. I don't know. A group of aspiring actors and filmmakers in post-World War II Hollywood try to make it big, no matter the cost. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What it's about. That's correct. I feel like that's very, it's a little misleading.
Yes.
Okay. So, when did you start taking notes? At what episode did you start taking notes?
Like the last 3.
Okay. Well, I have mine, and then I'm sure you will remember like thoughts about them.
Oh, I will. Yes.
I was like taking bullet points as I was watching. The first one is already intense. The first note. Okay, so we're gonna start with the first episode. Hooray for Hollywood. The little description for it is: after returning from the war, Jack Costello. Also, is it Castillo? Is he? What is he?
I'm gonna say Costello because he's white.
Because that's what they were saying. Okay, but I feel like whatever. Arrives in Hollywood with hopes to make it in pictures. Jack's wife Henrietta receives some unexpected news. A new friend makes Jack an offer that's almost too good to be true. So, thoughts on the first episode?
So, first of all, I don't think Jack Costello is a very likable character.
That's my first note. He's an awful main character. I literally wrote, the main character is very unlikable. I'm supposed to feel bad because he's hot. He also cheated on his wife. No, that's literally a point in the story. He's like, nobody likes me because I'm just so attractive. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's his issue. That's his conflict. Is like, I'm too hot and people think I'm too dumb.
That's awful.
I'm pretty. Which is like, I don't know.
I was like, I don't care, Jack. Boo-hoo. Like, I don't care.
That was like their only issues back in that time. That and being lonely.
He literally was like, my problem is I'm hot.
Lonely back then. Like, be okay with yourself.
Yeah, and then, okay, I also wrote, he also cheated on his wife and is too arrogant to get a job. The first thing we see is like, he's like, so he gets to the gas station or whatever, and he's like, I'm not going to cheat on my wife. He's like, so you haven't done it yet? He's like, well, and then they literally flash back to him cheating on his wife. I'm like, what, do you want me to like him? Because I'm not.
Yeah, his moral compass is not.
No. And then she's like, well, we need money. The lights are off. He's like, well, I want to be an actor. And I'm like, you can still be an actor and go work at like a taco. Was there Taco Bell back then? No. Go work at like a shake. I don't know what businesses existed.
Diner.
Yeah, go work at a diner.
Love to have you.
Exactly. Go be a waitress like the rest of like Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
Wants to be an actress. Anyway, so yeah, that was my first like main thought.
I feel bad for Henrietta because like she went through all this stuff, but they also wrote her character very terribly too.
No.
So bad for her.
I think a big thing with this show is none of the character. It felt like the story was driving it and not the characters, because a lot of the times they're like, I don't know, like their drive is all over the place. Like their motivations don't make sense.
At the top of the latte. I feel
yeah.
Like. I feel like
very much.
Like there would be like a literal sentence about their motivation, and then like
they would do things that completely went against that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense.
I think Archie is the only one that kind of was like,
yeah,
that was consistent to some
degree. Yeah, no, I agree. And also, I forgot her name. Avis. I think Avis was pretty much consistent. She was the best character.
And do we meet Avis in the first episode? Does that happen?
Yes, because she. My next note is Patti LuPone's hair. That's it. That's the note.
Hair design, costume design for Avis.
Amazing.
Oh my God, Patti LuPone. Like I
was shook. I was not expecting it.
Avis is everything to me. We should all aspire to be like Avis.
I agree. I'm
like 2% like her in my old age.
She was a great character, and I feel like she's the only one that actually had development.
Yes.
She like started off as this like, my husband, like I'm just here, like she was basically like moping around and being whiny about everything. She's like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do things how I want to do
Yes.
them. And then
Yes.
at first she's like, we can't do this. And she's like, you know what? We're gonna do it. And then it
I love
worked out for her.
it. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay. My next note is what the hell was that faking cop scene? Because that scene made me very angry.
Faking cop scene?
Okay, when Jack so basically what's happening at this point is the guy at the gas station, I forgot his name. Do you remember his name? Frankie? Dylan McDermott's character. Frankie. I think it's Frankie. It doesn't matter. Dylan McDermott's character, the guy who owns the gas station.
Oh,
Frankie.
Ernie.
Ernie. Who's Frankie? There is no Frankie.
There's no Frankie. That's why I was
okay. Well, Ernie's like, okay, go over there, and then it's a guy. And Jack is like, well, no, I'm not into guys. So he dresses up like a cop and goes to like some like a gay theater or something to like find.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I was like, I thought I like blacked out for a second and like
no, I literally was like, what is happening? And then he like pretends that he's a cop to this black guy. He's like, let's go get lunch or dinner or whatever time it was. And then he literally goes, I'm not a cop, but you thought I was one, so I'm a good actor. I was like, whoa, what are you trying to prove?
Also, did that happen a lot? Like, did that happen? That Archie believed him?
I don't know.
I need to know historical context. Maybe like
I was looking it up because I was like, is this a thing? Would people just like pretend to be things to like practice their acting? But I don't know. It was weird. And it just made me more annoyed at Jack.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
He was literally like a goofball. Like
yeah.
Goof.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would prefer Darren Criss to be the main character, but maybe it's just because I love Darren Criss. But also, he was also very sure of himself.
Yeah, he could get annoying at times.
Okay, but
there's one thing he did. It was such a minor thing. It happened like 3 seconds, but it made me so mad that I couldn't like him for the rest of the show. Okay. It's so dumb when we get there. Also, okay, when they would wait outside the like the gates of like, it was supposed to be Paramount, but it was like Ace Pictures, but it's literally Paramount.
Yes.
No one said anything that Jack was literally shoving himself to the front each morning.
Oh, yeah.
Did that not bother you?
No, I was thinking the same thing. Because at concerts, like, I guess, like, now, like, if you even remotely try to go up, everyone's like...
You will get elbowed.
You will, and people will say things to you.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like this is different because it's like their big break, and people have been waiting there since morning. And he's like, well, I got here 5 minutes before they open the gate, and I'm going to shove myself to the front.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I was like, Jack, I hate you. But I don't know, maybe that was a point. Like, they wanted to start off with, like, a main male white character.
Friend? He completely just ditched his friend.
Oh, we never see him again.
To the front. Right? Yeah, because as soon as, like, because remember after, oh, God. Okay, I don't even know what episode. I think it's the second episode.
No, we're still on the first one.
Yeah, but, like, when he has sex with the casting assistant, and then she's like, oh, him. And the girl's like, okay, come on. And then that's the last time we see that friend.
Yeah, never again. And he's like, I love this town. And then we never see him again.
Yeah.
I'm like, hello? Your friend is going to ignore you.
He's just content with being a background actor. So whatever floats your boat, sir.
Also, I was very excited that one of the main points of it was Peg Ann Whistle. I love her. Like, that story, I've known it since like I was a little kid. Like the one about her jumping off the Hollywood sign. Like that's just I didn't think they were going to do that. When I heard her name, I was like, oh. But also it's Ryan Murphy, so I don't know what I was expecting. But it feels like more of an American Horror Story thing than he does it a lot in American Horror Story. He'll take like historic, like the Black Dahlia or whatever, and make her into, I think that's the whole point of the show. It's like American Horror Story. Like they'll take elements of history and like put them into the show.
Quentin Tarantino stole that concept from Ryan Murphy.
Oh, okay. Also, I feel like we should talk about this because it's kind of the whole point of the show. How do you feel about like alt history?
Don't tell me that was a joke. If you
no, who, me?
No, at the audience.
Oh, like, no.
I actually think. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, no, we can't say anything about Quentin Tarantino because this is a film podcast and we will get like blacklisted.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Okay, how do you feel about like alt history movies?
I love that.
Really? Okay.
Interesting. Well, actually, okay. I personally love it because I think like I'm smart enough to understand that it's not real.
Yeah.
But, like, something I learned in my film classes
Right.
is like film and like TV like really does shape how people think. So it will like for some people it's gonna mess up their sense of like history, and they're gonna think that this stuff happened.
Okay,
and, like,
that was
which is why I have an issue with like them kind of like taking these people that are like dead and like long gone and like kind of like rewriting their personality in a way. Because I'm like, well, like some people are gonna just take that as it is.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Rock Hudson was a real person.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't
I feel like to
much
me the real people like Rock Hudson and Anime, what was her name?
Anime Wong and then
Anime Wong. Yeah, I feel like to me that was more of a like we're gonna give them an ending that like she got her Oscar that she never was able to get on this show. But for
I
me,
love that.
yeah, that was great. But for me, I didn't like how they took these fake characters and made them get these achievements that like look, for example, like the girl wins Best Actress and she's like the first Black actress to win Best. But Halle Berry did that in like 2003. And I'm like, so it like I don't know, it like undermines the people who actually did that and how much longer it actually took us to get there. That's the only thing I was annoyed about. Or like for the Black screenwriter, R2 wins Best Screenplay. That literally happened a year ago with Jordan Peele. Like it took us that long to get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, I think it's just like kind of I think it's an audience thing as well. Like people just need to like stop
history.
Passive audiences, and I think that's the issue with people in general. Is like they never like, especially with like films and stuff, like they just take it as it is. They don't ever question. And like you should be questioning it.
You have to, especially if they say like based on a true story. Like the first thing I do after I watch it based on a true story, I think is like fact and fiction, and like I look up what was real and what wasn't, because I'm like,
you gotta educate yourself.
Yes, you have to. And there's a lot of things that the show kind of like took a liberty with, which I'm okay with. But then I think my bigger problems were like with the ending and like the Oscars thing.
Okay, move on.
Episode 2. We just talked about the entire show, but episode 2. Let me read the little description real quick. It's the second part of Hooray for Hollywood. I almost didn't know how to say hooray. Hooray. So the little description says, oh, I just lost everything. Hooray for Hollywood Part 2. Avis Amberg requests the services of the Golden Tip as Henrietta grows suspicious of Jack. Raymond Ansley, an up-and-coming director fresh out of film school, attempts to get his film greenlit by Ace Pictures. Also, the gas station being called the Golden Tip. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, so thoughts on the second episode. This kind of we meet the Darren Chris's character. We have the little Anime Wong sort of like flashback sequence.
I do like how they address that, like, even though Darren Criss is like half Asian, he's white passing and he has that advantage. And I like how his character does address that, because I don't think we've ever seen that ever, is having somebody admit that they are white passing even though that they are like half whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that at any. And I think well, first of all, this character feels very specifically written for Darren Criss.
Oh,
Ryan Murphy wrote this for him.
Ryan Murphy does, and I'm okay with it.
No, yeah, me too. But yeah, I did like that part. I wrote, did not think we would get a Patti LuPone sex scene. I don't know why I wrote that.
Wow.
I was
and
like, then he like looks up at her Oscars.
Yeah. That I was like, okay, he has his goal. His goal is like very clear.
Thank you, Ryan. We get it.
Yeah, but also like I was thinking like she kept on saying like, oh, her husband was out of town, but where was her daughter?
Oh my God, I didn't even realize.
Right? Because she lived with them. So where was she during this time?
Yeah. Also, when that was revealed, I was like, I didn't care.
I didn't care either.
It was supposed to be a twist, but I genuinely did not care. I was like, okay.
Because it didn't really add anything to her character at all.
Her character.
I get the point of having her doing that, but like she still wasn't like super successful.
Well, okay, we'll get into that later on because I don't think she's like appeared yet. I wrote he got the part because the old lady thinks he's hot, question mark, but I don't know what that means.
Oh, I forget her name. The one that was like Richard's like best friend, like sidekick.
Did you know she's married to Sarah Paulson? Did you know that? Because I didn't.
Oh my god, that's where I know her from. I'm sorry, she's probably like a very accomplished actress.
Oh,
but
probably.
her from.
I saw Sarah Paulson tweet like, "Oh, my girl is so good in this." I was like, "Who?" And then it was a clip of her, and I was like, "What?"
I was trying to put my finger on it. I was like, "Who is this lady?" I'm so
tracks.
sorry to that woman. I'm so sorry. I need to look it up.
I wrote love the mid-Atlantic accent. I love the mid-Atlantic. I can't say that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can we bring it back?
Yeah.
Can we bring it back, please?
We need it back.
Holland Taylor.
What? Oh, Holland Taylor.
Holland
yes. Yes. Has she been in anything with Sarah Paulson? I don't think.
No.
I'm sure they will be at some point.
Okay, I know her from Sarah Paulson, but I also know her from 2.5 Men because she plays the mom.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh man, I used to. I don't know why I watched that show, but I did. I was in elementary school when I was watching 2.5 Men, and that is not correct.
No, definitely not. Okay. Something that annoys me, and I don't know if it's because like I'm a writer. No, like I'm like that's my major. Like I'm a screenwriter, but it annoys me when they use the same line over and over, and they use the line "Can I ask you something?" at least 6 times in each episode, and it was starting to agitate me.
It's like you might as well just fucking ask.
Ask it, please. You're wasting our time. These episodes are already like an hour long.
Goddamn polite.
And it would be like they were in bed, and like one of them is getting ready, and the other one's like, "Can I ask you something?" I'm like, "Please just do it."
Also, why did everyone have like a southern drawl, like kind of like attitude to them? Like they're all very like classy. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm wrong. But anyways, I don't really remember anything else that happened in the second episode.
It was very much like exposition-y. It was like we have to set up all these characters before stuff happens.
Did Darren Criss meet Archie yet? Darren Criss.
I don't know because the only note I have for episode 3, Outlaws, is the sex party is so scary. That's the only note I have for that entire episode.
Yeah, I think they do meet.
They met in episode 2.
Yeah. I absolutely loved, this is like the one thing I absolutely remember is when I'm probably jumping, but when they get to the lot, like Archie and what's Darren Chris's character's name?
I just read it and I completely forgot. Ainsley? Ray.
So when Ray and Archie are driving up to the studio and like Archie's like, oh, like, did you ever imagine you would have your own parking spot on the lot? And then Darren Chris's character was like, yeah, actually I did. I was like, hey, I was like, okay. I was like, Confident King. I was like, me. I recorded it and I was like, me.
You put it on Snapchat, I remember. But yeah, I think episode 2 was pretty good. I didn't like episode 3 because it was just the party. It
was so random. And I don't know what Jim Parsons' character is. I hate him. So predatory. And then like at the end to try and no, sir.
Bizarre.
I do not blame you.
And he's a real person. Or he's based on a real person.
Is he really?
Yes. And especially the whole like my brother died when he was 19 backstory, all of that stuff is like I guess true.
Yeah, but like that does not give you excuse.
No.
You literally prey on your male clients. That
and that was his only thing. Like that was his main thing.
Exactly. And like that whole thing, like the only good thing that came out of the episode kind of was Rick or like Dick and Rock Hudson's like interaction. That's the only positive thing in that episode. Like when they like went off together into the guest house and then Richard like he started like taking off his clothes, Rock, because like that's just kind of what is assumed at that point. Like that's what he's meant to be doing to get like further.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then he's like, put on your clothes.
He's like, what are you doing?
A little like moment, heart to heart.
Yeah.
And that's when like it kind of clicked for him, like that he needs to come out as gay man and like live his life while he has.
What was his name? That character's name? I don't remember. He was one of my favorites, but
Richard, but they called him Dick.
oh, okay, that's why I was confused. Yeah, Dick, great character.
That him and Avis are my favorite characters.
Yeah, I think all the older characters were a lot more engaging than like the younger characters.
Oh yeah, because they were. I think we liked them because they were like the ones that were actually making the advances, like making decisions to make these advances. Because if we didn't have those Avis and Richard, nothing would have happened, and we wouldn't have a show.
That's true. That's a good point. Okay, so we kind of already started talking about it, but episode 3 is called Outlaws. Henry, oh my God, Henry. Ernie and the Pump Jockeys are hired for a big party. Henry Wilson prepares Rock for a career in Hollywood, while Ellen Kincaid helps Jack refine his skills as an actor. I didn't really care much for this episode, honestly.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what to say.
Kind of like to give us a look more deep. Like, I think it was just kind of trying to expose old Hollywood, being like, oh, you didn't want gay characters and you didn't want like people to be outwardly gay, but y'all were doing all this stuff behind the scenes. I think
I think they did an interview with like Ryan and the cast members like I think like yesterday or 2 days ago, and they said the reason that there's so many like sex scenes and like they're like very like graphic is because old Hollywood, like, you didn't see that on TV at all, but it was still happening behind the scenes. And I think it's like really clear in the first sex scene with like Avis and Jack, where they're like, it looks like they're gonna cut away because they're showing the curtains, and you know how like they're like curtains means they have sex, and so they're like showing the curtains, but then they cut back inside the room and they're like, just kidding, you're gonna watch. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, like that's the thing with the show is like I understand like what they're trying to do, but like I think like they focus, like I told you this, I was like, I think they were focusing on like the wrong things, because I think at the end of the day they have to think about their target audience.
Yeah,
they're trying to do that, and like the target audience doesn't really care about like
what
I guess we care about, even though I think we're the target audience, but like they had to make it broader. They had to make it, we're too niche.
It feels like they made it for a younger audience when I don't think that's who this show would appeal to.
No, I think it should appeal to like 20 to like 30-year-olds.
I agree. I don't know. Anyway, away from our marketing aspect of this, episode 4, screen tests. Dick and Ellen pitch Ace their slate. Raymond and Camille urge RG to make a bold script change. Avis is presented with an unexpected opportunity while Jack and Rock prepare for their screen tests. Okay, let me see what I have for those notes. I wrote opening scene came out of nowhere, but I don't remember what the opening scene was. Oh, Archie got mad at Jack, but I don't remember why.
Jack?
Yeah, Archie and Jack got in a fight, but I don't remember for what. We should not have waited this long to record this. We finished it like a week.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, but I do remember thinking this opening scene came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay. They were at the gas station, and Jack and Archie get in a fight for no reason. It comes out of nowhere. I don't even remember what it was about, but they start yelling at each other.
It was because Jack was making things about himself.
Oh, yeah.
And Archie was like, do you realize, like, the privilege that you have? Essentially. Yeah. Like, that's essentially the thing. Like,
but it came out of nowhere.
I think it's because I think they realized, like, they were giving Jack too much, like, credit, and they needed, like, a colored character to point it out.
Yeah. And, yeah.
That's the purpose behind that.
Okay, Samara Weaving's character, what's her name? I don't remember.
Who?
Samara Weaving? Samara? I don't know how you say her name. Claire Wood, Avis's daughter. So at this point, Ace gets like a heart attack or whatever and goes into a coma. And so Avis and Claire are sitting at the hospital. And Claire goes, is Daddy going to die? My screen test is on Friday. And I'm like,
oh my God. I literally...
Like, what? I get it's like a Ryan Murphy thing to add like these like blonde characters that are like sassy and rude and hate everyone. But I don't think it fit in here.
I don't think she needed to hate everybody though.
No. And then at the end, she completely becomes a different character. But it wasn't like an arc. It was like she's this and now she's this. And I don't know what happened in between that changed it. But it was weird.
I guess... And we'll get there.
Okay.
Remind me when they do the episode when they like do the read, like at the table read.
Okay, I think there's one after. So then I love the montage of the actors getting ready, where it was like the guys are working out and like doing all this stuff, and then the girls are getting their makeup. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. It was a cool scene. Were they rehearsing their lines? At some point, they do a montage where like it's the scene that's on paper, but it cuts between everyone practicing it.
Oh yes.
And I thought it was really cool.
That was a good montage scene.
Oh, it was right after this because I wrote editing in this episode is top tier. The scene from Peg that cut between the 4 actors practicing. I don't know. I thought it was a cool scene. Okay. So at this point, Rock auditions for the movie, and he like does
painful, and it went on for so long.
And I get that was apparently the real Rock Hudson also was like a horrible auditioner. Which like I get it, but also what made me really mad in this episode is that it's like a 10-minute sequence where he's like auditioning, and then at the end Ray completely ignores him, where like Rock is like thank you, and Ray just walks past him. I was like, you are such a jerk. That was so uncalled for.
That the moment that made you hate him?
Yeah, I don't know. It just pissed me off.
Okay, I understand that, but I feel like my ass probably would have done something.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have done that. But it's like, okay, so like when we were doing the auditions for All That Glitters, a short film coming soon, maybe, I don't know at this point, but like when we were doing the auditions for that, even
All
the people that
film that Daniel and I made
yes we're plugging it, but when we were doing the auditions for that, even if immediately after the audition I was like I don't like this or this isn't gonna work, I would still be like okay, thank you for coming in. Like no one has to be there. And I guess this is different because they were actual actors, but like it does not hurt to like I don't know.
I
didn't like it.
Okay, I think I wouldn't have just completely not said anything to him, but I would have just been like, yeah.
You definitely would have been a lot more annoyed than he like reacted, but I don't know. It bothered me. I was like, Rock is not doing any like I don't know. It just bothered me how everyone treated Rock in the entire show.
They didn't have to let him do that many takes.
Oh, no.
They could have just capped it. But
it was weird. And then when he goes, sorry I called her pig, you're not. Like when he's doing the lines, and then at one point he calls her pig instead of peg. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I called her pig. You're not. I thought that was so funny. I was like, what a good like little character line for like.
Because it reminds you that he's like a sweet little baby.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, no, literally. And then it ends with like the whole Eleanor Roosevelt sequence, which I really liked.
I love that.
Because like that's what she was actually very like involved in like all the film stuff because she was like, this is what people like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was a cool
her little inspiring speech. I was like, yes.
Thank you, Eleanor.
Yes. I was like, we can still use this today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And put it here. Like
yeah. So yeah, that was episode 4. So episode 5 is called Jump. I'm like hopping between IMDb and my notes.
Freaking in this episode, like when he has the meltdown about the H. He's like, there's no scaffolding.
I was so mad.
My God.
No, okay, yeah. I think at this point is when I started getting annoyed at the director, which like I get it. Like things are stressful, but like calm down.
I vibe with him, all right?
I know. Anyway, so episode 5, Jump. Avis contemplates the possibility of making history. Meg finds his cast. Oh, at this point, they've already changed the script from Peg to Meg because they're like, she's going to be black now.
That was going to happen. Like the whole...
Yeah. With pre-production underway, Dick has notes for Raymond and Archie. Ellen decides to follow her heart as Jack's past comes back to haunt him. Okay, so I wrote, I love Jean. What? I don't know who that is. Yeah. Oh, the one actress who was like older and then like Jean. And then they just give her like an entire movie. I don't know. It was very like we could have cut her entire character out, but I liked it.
Could have, but like I think it was necessary for Avis to like show like her change as well, and like also girl empowerment.
Yeah, and I liked it because she was like,
it's the man's fault.
No, yeah. And they make it very clear. Also, we need to point out because I don't know at what point when does what's his name wake up? When does Ace wake up? Episode like 6.
One of the last episodes.
Okay.
The second to last episode.
We'll talk about that when we get there then. I wrote, Ray was on crack going over budget that much. That made me so mad.
Oh, I have the inflation. So
Okay.
I literally texted Janelle. I was like, how much is $25,000 now? And I looked it up, and that is $289,000 or over that. It's over that.
Yeah.
That's how much.
That was the plus, like, in addition to whatever their original budget already was.
And so like Richard came and like had his meltdown and fired the guy. I was like, yes, you fire that man. What the hell was he thinking? Not telling anybody else. Like, that's the whole producer's job.
Yeah.
Make sure you're on budget. So
he was like, the director told me. I'm like, it doesn't matter what the director says. Directors are annoying.
You have to go through the producer.
Yeah. Okay, and then hold on. Okay, so
that made me love it even more because I was like me. I was like, I want to be Richard. My life goal is to be Richard.
I wrote, Ellen confessing her love was depressing. It was.
Who?
Ellen confessing her love to Dick. That was a depressing scene.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's a weird like B story, but
subtle. Like, she tried to do it in like the most like low-key way possible, but I liked it because like they were so close and like
it was sad.
Yeah, but
Did
like
it not make you sad? It made me really depressed. I was like,
it definitely made me sad, but like I think I just love Richard so much. Like, I just him. And at the table read, I'm guessing this is like this episode or like the last episode, but like when they were doing the table read and then Claire and what's her name?
Claire and who?
The
one who's playing Meg? I don't even remember. Let me look it up. I have the IMDb up real quick.
Claire and Camille, when they talk like after the table read and they both like hype each other up. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I think it's the start of like they were like, wait, maybe Claire doesn't need to be Emma Roberts in every show ever. So they started giving her a little bit more like
I guess that was like her character development moment.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she doesn't need to be the lead.
Yeah.
Which is right. You do not need to be the lead, love.
Yeah, she definitely I don't know. Her character gets better, but also they somehow find a way to cast everyone in the movie. I was like, how convenient.
I know, and they were just allowed to.
Yeah, which I feel like that's actually how it is. Like they're like they cast their friends into
I guess, but like I think that's like when you have clout in a way.
Right.
But like not for your first movie. Because I feel like especially at that time they were taking such a big risk as it is. So I guess also like at that time they had like contract players, so they just like use all the contract players. So I guess it makes sense in the aspect that
they did cast Anime Wong.
They knew their friends wouldn't ask for much money because they're all dead end. Like
but their little like their star power was Anime Wong's little character.
Yeah.
So I guess that was kind of they were like that's gonna be the drive. I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember what her character was in the movie. Do you?
Anime Wong?
Yeah, what did she play?
It was like she was already like a famous actress, and it was kind of like Meg was like trying to get her to be like her mentor type of thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Really idolized her.
And I wrote, it isn't a Ryan Murphy show unless someone's pregnant in season 1 because he loves that.
Interesting.
Which I'm not complaining. I love a good pregnancy storyline, and he does it differently each time, so I'm not complaining, but I'm just like, there's always someone pregnant in season 1. Always. So yeah, that's pretty much episode 5. I think it was that one was one of my favorite episodes because there was a lot more about the production aspect of it and like the casting.
Yeah, okay, but then the last 2 episodes is where it just completely like full force, like 180, like we were like, just kidding to everything else.
No, yeah, they literally say just kidding to everything else. So episode 6, Meg. Ernie makes a plan to save the picture. With social tensions rising in Hollywood following Meg's announcement, Archie and Avis remain vigilant. Jack and Archie give Ernie the opportunity of a lifetime. So this is the episode. It opens with the burning crosses scene, which was very scary. I was like, oh my god. But it was a good scene because, like, yeah.
I texted you and I was like, how easy was it to find out where people lived?
I
Like that.
know. And I think the fire was CGI because it looked like twice as scary as fire usually looks. I don't know.
It definitely.
It was scary.
Yeah, I don't know. That was really scary.
I wrote Samara Weaving acting as an actress in a film is so good, but I don't know what that's referring to.
I also, like, because of that, they offered to, like, house them onto the lot. Mm-hmm. But then Camille was like, I will not live in fear. And I was like, girl, you can still not live in fear, but also, like,
not get murdered. Love.
Yeah. Like, I get, like, her intention behind it, but also, like, you're still making the movie.
Yeah. Like, I would 100% be like, I'm not going to live in fear, but also keep me on here because I don't want to die. And white people are crazy. Yeah.
If they kill you, then you can't even make the movie.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Well, it's like, what's wrong with it? Yeah. You don't have to drive to set every day. Like, it's a lot easier. I don't know why you're mad.
Yeah.
Me thinking if that whole conversation was offensive. No. Okay.
I don't think so, but, like, I understand the point of it, and, like, I understand, like, the message, and I think it is important to see that because, like, you literally didn't get to see a character like that, so I understand, but I'm just saying, like, in real life. Like,
right. Or maybe it's just because I'm lazy, but I would have been like, yeah. Personally, I would have been like, thank you. I'm lazy and I don't have to drive every day.
Yeah. But I wish they would expand on it more because it was just like, I would have liked a little, like, monologue about, like, why she doesn't want to live in fear anymore and, like, why because I feel like they just, like, said it and, like, brushed past it. But I think that's why my mind is like, well, then just live on. Why are you not? But if she had, like, a little moment and, like, explained to the people, like, why, and, like, stood up for herself and stood up for, like, her community, like, I feel like that would have been more impactful and I would have seen more why she wouldn't have made it.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because Archie moves on. He does move on to the lot, doesn't he? With Rock? None of them do?
No, that's the thing I was confused about. I don't think they would have allowed them to, no? I was confused as well because he was walking on and it looked like the lot.
Yeah.
And
okay, also, I completely forgot to mention this, but I'm not even kidding. It's so Rock hires Archie to, like, for services. Mm-hmm. Literally 20 minutes later, they are in a full-on relationship.
Yeah.
And I was like, we didn't get anything. We didn't get anything out of this.
Love a plot line like that.
Yeah.
So expand on it.
Yeah, and, like, I think the only like moment that was, like, developing the relationship that we got was at the party where he's like, dance with me, and he's like, I'm literally working, and he's like, well, I don't care.
It wasn't even a positive, like.
No, it was a very weird scene, and I was like, okay, but then they're just living together by, like, episode 3.
Yeah, there's like, a lot of. That's the thing. Like, they have a lot of relationships and a lot of, like, conflicting relationships, like Jack and Avis, and then all of a sudden Claire's like, oh, like, he's like, I just have to tell you something. I had sex with your mom, and then she's like, oh no, I know.
Yeah.
Was that so easy?
I don't know.
Like, it shouldn't be that easy. Like, obviously it shouldn't be, like, a big deal, but, like, the fact that she was like, oh no, I know, we got really close lately, and that was it. I was like,
and, like, why didn't they show that conversation? I want that conversation. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, because, like, they got close, but, like, we didn't see them get close. So how the hell am I supposed to believe?
No, I think it was.
Like, there was just so many freaking, what's it called?
Relationships, I guess.
Relationships, and there wasn't enough time.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, Ace wakes up, and in my head, I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna shut down the production. He's gonna be so pissed," because he literally had an entire scene before he, like, went into a coma where he was like, "You can't have a African or a black writer. You can't you can't have a black actress." Like, he was so racist, and he was so angry. He goes into a coma. He wakes up and he's like, "Avis, you did such a good job. Like, I love what you did with the place." And I'm like,
Look, girl, queen, you have done it again.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, sir, you were racist 2 minutes ago. Because I don't know how comas work. I don't know if like no time has passed in his head, but like suddenly he's not racist at all. And he's like, Avis, you did such a good job.
Yeah, you had
I'll
no
take it from
intent
here.
at all.
No, it's so weird. And I was like, I was like, oh my God, like conflict. And no, there's no conflict. He just kind of is like, I'm not racist anymore. Um, Go away, Avis. And then Avis is like, okay. And so I guess
And
that was a
then he
conflict.
dies.
Yeah. So he like they kind of make up somehow. I don't know. They like mend their relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
He wakes up, gets out of the hospital. Avis, you've done a great job. I love what you've done with the place.
Mhm.
And he starts taking over, and then Avis is like, what the heck? I did all this stuff and I get no credit. What is this? No, I have my freedom now. And like, that's her whole thing, is like, she's like, I just want to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, her whole thing is like that she wasn't a successful actress because she was Jewish, and they didn't want to hire her because they thought she was ugly. And she finally made something of herself. That's her whole thing, right? And that got taken away from her, and she wanted to ask Avis to go 50-50 because he still is not in 100% health. And they had like a cute little moment, and he was like, you know what? No, you're right. Let's do this. Hand in hand. And I was like,
You're like, what?
fair? Sir, you didn't love her anymore. And then
Yeah.
I guess like maybe the close to death experience made him like
I don't know.
bitch. I don't know. And then they go to bed all happy. And then the next morning she wakes up making breakfast, gonna go get Avis to eat his whatever the heck he was supposed to eat that was healthy, and he's dead.
And I was like, what? Which like we should have seen it coming. I don't know where else that storyline would have led, but I don't know.
He was in the hospital for like a week maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. No, but also, okay, here's the thing. I don't think it was a week. I think it was like months, but the pacing on the show was so weird where like you couldn't tell how much time was passing.
Oh, and they totally glossed over the production aspect of
Yeah.
and that that makes sense now. Like they were probably like halfway through production or like most of the way done. And then he woke up, but in my head, my pea brain, I was like, oh, they're already done with the film and they're not going to distribute it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But yeah, the pacing was really weird.
It was because there would be like episode 2 and episode 3. I think it was like 2 days between, and then between like 4, 5, and 6, it's like months passing between each scene.
I would have
rather all over the place.
The little third, the lower. Like I see like a lot of people like have an issue with that, but why? It's just like for everybody to be on the same page.
I mean,
and
maybe even just for that production episode where they were like July, August, I don't know when it was happening, but
yeah, and I'm so mad that they glossed over the production aspect of it because like is it like, oh, they found out that they're making the movie and then there's a lot of protests and then nothing? Like, no, there would have had conflicts. There would have been production delays probably. Like, and that would have been interesting to see.
Much more interesting than like a lot of the other storylines that were actually given to us.
I know there was no way y'all were all happy-go-lucky the whole
exactly
we're filming. Absolutely not.
Also,
how long did it take to make a movie back then? Because like
I don't know.
Now it takes like a month or two, but I'm sure it took a lot longer back then.
Yeah.
Especially with like, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, every time they would be like, "Oh, Meg is so good," in my head, I would think of The Meg, that like shark movie, the horrible one. I'm like, so every time I'd be like, "Meg is so good," I'd be like, "Okay," and like that was the person. I don't know. Anyway, so the last episode 7, Hollywood ending. The little log line is Jack. Jack, Archie, and Ray grieve a loss. Camille receives advice from her idol as Dick unveils his plan to release Meg.
Oh my god, that weird scene when Hattie and the other actress had like a threesome with the guy from the gas station.
Oh, I forgot that happened.
What? I was so confused.
Oh, Hattie and Jean.
No, it wasn't Jean. It was Tallulah?
Tallulah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
But they didn't bring it up again at all. It was just like...
I wonder I don't know if the actual Hattie McDonald. Oh my gosh, I can't say it. Hattie McDonald. Oh my god, I'm just gonna call her Hattie because I can't say the last name for some reason. I don't know. Maybe she was actually like lesbian or something. I don't know. Was that a thing?
I when I googled Hollywood, it was like, oh, did they actually date? But I didn't click on the article.
Oh, okay. Um, okay. I think at this point, something that really made me mad was they lazily just paired everyone together. So there's Ernie and who do they pair up Ernie with?
The Holland Taylor
Yes,
character.
yes, her. And then they pair up Jack and Claire for no reason other than, well, it's the last episode, so let's just do it.
That made absolutely no sense to me. I was like, what am I supposed to get out of this?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Just like, oh, they're together, I guess. But like, I don't think people understand that like we don't always need things to end with people together.
Well, I guess maybe in the 1947 headspace, that was kind of like everyone's goal was to like be paired off.
Yeah. But this is very much like a different 1947. They make it clear they're like, this is not the real 1947. This is like a different timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, it's the Oscar ceremony. There's that thing where they almost don't let Camille inside the ceremony, which was a good scene. I liked it. And she's like, everyone's like, you have to let her in. And she's like, I can do this.
When she stood up, I was like, yes.
I like that it wasn't like the white savior situation, because when they were all like, you have to let her in, I was like, ugh. And then she's like, no, I can do this. You're going to let me in, or... Yeah.
Yes, we don't need the white man to stand up for us.
Exactly.
No. Out of here with the white savior thing.
Yeah,
I was like, yes. I said that out loud. I remember saying, yes.
Okay, so also, the movie's like nominated for like literally everything.
Yeah.
I literally thought it was going to get nominated for like 2 things, but it got nominated for like 7.
Yeah.
So I think the first person that wins an Oscar is Anna May Wong, which great scene.
Oh, I cried.
Yeah, me too. It was 3 a.m., so I don't know if that like has anything to do with it, but me too.
I was on sound mind and I cried.
Yeah, it was like 3 p.m. for you. Yeah. It was a good. I loved how the whole ceremony. Okay, I either hated the Oscars episode or I loved it, and I don't know. But I really liked how every time someone was about to win, they would show like people who were similar to them or would relate to them, like listening to the ceremony.
Yes.
Like the Asian American family listening.
What was going on? I was like, sorry, what is that? Who are these people?
Yeah.
But I realized, like, oh my god, I was like, the parallels.
It was so good.
I think it helped, like, really. Oh my god, I'm like gonna start crying. I was like, it helped so much, like, put in perspective, like, and how big of a moment this is. Mm-hmm. And like that's why, like, maybe I am okay with like the alternate like history thing, because like, yeah, it's like cool, like you can say like Halle Berry like won the first Black actress to win an Oscar, but like neither of us like were kind of knowledgeable about what the hell was going on in Hollywood at the time. Mm-hmm. So like maybe put it in perspective for people that didn't feel that experience.
Yeah.
And like kind of put that in perspective, which I think everybody should have that feeling, and everybody should feel seen.
Yeah, and it was a good scene. It was very well made. It was good, like great. Like they knew what they were doing, and it like brought back the whole like the whole monologue that Eleanor Roosevelt gave in like episode 3 or whatever, where she was like this might not seem like a big deal to you, but it's gonna seem like a big deal to the little Black girl who's watching this and sees herself on the screen, and she's not a maid, you know. She's like an actress, you know? So I like that part of it. And I thought
Wait, hold on. Did you like that they changed the ending?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's a very hopeful story.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it after because I don't want to spoil my movie, but like, I was like, do we?
Yeah. No, yeah, I yes, but no, because we're saying something different.
Yes.
Anyway,
to everybody listening is like, what the hell?
They're like, we don't care. So then I like the part where I think Dick says, "Thank God this isn't televised," because he's crying. I was like, oh, that's funny, because like now it is. And then from here it just goes off the rails. So like, yes. So they win like everything. I don't think they. I think Jack is the only one who lost, which I was like. But also like
he he win Best Director? Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, everyone won except Jack.
Yeah, which T good.
Yeah.
But I also liked how like when they were announcing the Best Directing, yeah, I like that like they just cut and they didn't like say it on the stage. I like how he just came downstairs with the Oscar.
Yeah, because it was getting old.
It would have been overkill if they showed everyone on the stage.
I think the one of Archie winning and of Camille winning, those were a little bit more important because we see like the whole, they do the thing again where it's like this kid who is black and maybe gay, because I think he literally talks about it in his speech. They show him listening alone in his room, and then they have the black family listening.
The kid listening, the kid that was listening to Archie when they got on their knees, and like I was like, I'm broken.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a well-made scene, and like that's why I don't know. I don't understand if I like that whole thing or not, because like that it didn't happen. So like what, and like I get okay, because like okay, for example, I'm talking about a different like alt history one just so I can like see what my problem with it is. But for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, for if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna spoil it right now. But it's basically the story of like these two actors who don't exist, and then there's the Sharon Tate sort of understory or whatever. That's not a word. Where it's about the Charles Manson murders, and so the entire movie you're like, oh my god, it's gonna lead up to the murders, but then it switches where like they kill the Manson family and they save Sharon Tate. And so like this whole sort of Charles Manson thing never happened. And so at first I was like, oh, I like it because it's like, it's in honor of the victims. It's like F you to the, I don't know.
That they didn't.
Right. But then when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, so you're saying they would have lived if there was two white men there? That's what you're saying? Like, that's why I don't like alt history things. Like they're interesting to watch, but I'm like, what are you trying to say?
I think maybe like people just have to go in knowing that it's like, or at least like understand that after, but you cannot expect that out of the general population.
Yeah, but I feel like with the Charles Manson thing, that's a lot more well known, and they very publicized it that like it's about the murders, and then it, like they do the whole switch on it. But still, I was like, oh, I'm sorry that Brad Pitt and Leo weren't there to save her. Like, what are you trying to say here? And then
Brad Pitt was high on shrooms the whole time that he was doing that.
I don't know. It was like I don't know. But then with this one, it felt like I was like, yes, great. Fun to watch, but also, what about Halle Berry and Jordan Peele and the Parasite cast? Like these all just happened. Mm-hmm. Like 2001 and on.
And like I see that, and I think I had an issue with that as well. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm okay with it because I know like the people just got that exists, and like I'm aware, and I think I am okay with it.
It's if you view it as more of like a fan fiction than like a this is what should have happened. Sorry, but like
Hollywood is
all history is literally fan fiction. I don't know what it is. They literally like add characters and then add real ones in.
Oh,
Hollywood is a fan fiction. Sorry, it is. And so I don't know. I don't. Okay. Anyway, let's move on because we've been talking for almost an hour. But so then the last like I think 10 minutes, it's okay. So Jack proposes to Claire in the back room for they okay. I get they filmed the whole movie together, but also it literally came out of nowhere, and I was like, I don't need this wedding.
It came out of nowhere.
It literally came out of nowhere.
It was like, what?
And then they do this whole like ending is all over the place because Dick dies off screen.
Because okay, so Ernie, we assume it's Ernie because he says cancer and he doesn't know how long he's gonna live, and so we're like, oh, okay, like I've come to terms with Ernie dying.
Yes, and then you see him sit.
Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed. I was livid because Richard is like he was the one that made all this happen.
Yeah.
He greenlit the movie, and he was the producer, and like he did everything, and he finally came to terms with himself, and he was like, you know what, we need to be the studio that makes the change. And like they're gonna kill him off.
And it also, not only that, but it felt very like unceremonious. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't add, like, I was like, it didn't give a different thing to the ending. It didn't add anything. I literally just felt like they did it for like, well, we got a couple more minutes, might as well. And so I don't know. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it. It made me mad.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, and then we get that whole. We didn't discuss Jim Parsons' character because there literally is nothing to discuss. I think he was.
Well, there isn't, because there's no freaking development.
No.
But they try to give him a happy ending in the end because he traumatized Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
He did. He like was super predatory, and also he made himself a producer on Meg just because he. Why was he?
Because he wanted to be a producer. Oh, we completely didn't talk about that whole, like, when they were literally going back and forth between what was happening, where like he's like, I'm gonna re-edit your whole thing and we're adding a musical number, and they were like, no. And then like they burned the whole movie, and then just kidding, the editor had a second copy. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the whole last 2 episodes. It was just like, okay, progress. Last 2 episodes, just kidding. All this crazy, like, random, like, things happen. Yeah. And, like, they burned, yes. So, like, once Ace dies, they burn the movie. They just burn it. And then they move to Ace's funeral. And then the editor guy is like, oh, JK, I have a copy. And then Ray is like, hell yeah, you do. And then everything's fine again. Yeah. I was like.
And then Avis is like, I fired all of those lawyers. I was like, you couldn't have just done that before they burned it and avoided us this random, like, twist in the story that wasn't a twist.
Yeah, I know.
Out of nowhere.
Oh, weird.
Okay, so, sorry, go ahead.
It's so weird.
Yeah. But also, and okay, before I say this, Ryan Murphy, you are a king.
Less.
You are rich. You give us content. You feed us. But also, why are your endings like this? Because this is not a new thing. I'm sorry, Ryan, Mr. Murphy. I like how you're saying quiet. Like, I'm sorry. But
strongly about it as you do.
It's because, like, when we get to American Horror Story,
endings are hard to write.
Yes, but also if you look back at it and you're like, does this ending work with the whole story? I feel like some of those things were easy fixes.
I think they needed more episodes. So we're tying it up in a bow right now. They needed more episodes.
Final thoughts.
That was not enough time. What the hell did I just watch? If that show that everybody is obsessed with, which I don't get, Outer Banks, if that gets 10 episodes or more, I don't even remember how many episodes they got, then why didn't Hollywood get it? Because I tried to watch that show, 1 episode, and I was like, I don't get it.
My family watched it. I'm not even kidding. I woke up one day and I got downstairs. They were already on episode 3. I was like, what is happening? And they watched it the whole day. But I don't think Netflix was the one who gave them 7. I literally think Ryan was like, we only need 7. I think they probably were like, we'll give you 10. He's like, it's a challenge. I'm gonna do it in 7. But like, no, we could have used 1 more.
Eat us, sir.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I did not like the ending at all. I was not very satisfied.
No.
But I did like the show.
Yes.
That's the thing. We're like complaining, but we're like, we like it though.
That's the thing with anything Ryan Murphy makes. I will complain about the things I didn't like. But then as soon as the next one comes out at 12:01 a.m., I will be watching whatever it is. The Politician season 2, I think, is the next thing that comes out.
You need to look into the psychology of this.
It's just good. Like, he knows how to entertain.
Because the concepts are fantastic.
Yeah.
Concepts, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed this, but I want it. And I like how he picks like kind of like the oddballs in society and makes characters out of them.
Yes.
Like Glee.
Yeah. Glee. No, everything. I think a lot of his shows do that.
I love that about his shows, and that is why I will eat, live, breathe, like die, like live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love for Ryan Murphy. I agree. Yeah, I just think this wasn't his best work. Yeah. Probably not in my top, like, 5.
We should do that for an episode, is rank all of, like,
our rank. Definitely.
like near like the end once we like, because I
don't think we'll ever get through them.
No.
He literally he's pumping out so many things. Like he literally like announced on Instagram, he's like, I'm working on Scream Queen season 3. I'm working on like a film for Dylan McDermott and Leslie Jordan. He announced another season of something. Oh, American Horror Story is getting 3 more seasons. Like they got renewed through season 13. We're getting the American Crime Story with the Monica Lewinsky storyline. There's a lot going on. So like,
okay, maybe we can just do the ones that we both seen and rank those.
Okay.
Because I feel like I need to do that, or at least top 3.
Yeah, no, I agree. I need it for my brain.
Yeah, I need to pass the time according to personal. And like that's the thing with Ryan Murphy is like, yeah, we won't be like completely satisfied with every choice that he makes, but like also like that's just like TV shows in general. Yeah. You can be a fan of every single TV show that you make, but also like there's a reason why he did that. Even though if we like don't get it, there was a reason why he did it. Like
yeah, at the end of the day, he got what he wanted to make. I mean, he made what he wanted to make. He got his full story, and it was his. And so that I don't think it, like, yeah, we'll complain, but also, yeah, exactly.
I need more episodes because like I wanted to love these characters, and that's the thing. Like when I watch TV show, I want to love the characters, and I want to feel like I know them because I want a parasocial relationship. Period. I want that. And it because TV is supposed to be like you're supposed to see yourself in them.
Yes.
And like, none of those characters really were fully fleshed out besides like Avis.
I think Avis and Rock to me were the ones that I was like, I want to know more about what's going on with them.
I don't like Rock.
Why?
I just don't like him. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just like my own personal trauma from like.
I like his character because I feel like he was the only one that like actually had to like.
He had a good heart.
Yes, but also I was like, he's the only one. No, that's not true. I was gonna say he's the only one that's struggling, but like everyone was struggling except Jack. I just hated Jack. I think that's what we can agree on is that Jack was not a good character.
Maud Apatow had to play that character.
Huh?
That Maud Apatow had to play Henrietta. Like I feel like they did her not well.
No.
They did her well.
Okay, sorry.
I just like I don't know. Like yeah, I want to like the characters, and I didn't feel attached to really any of them.
Well, it's a miniseries, so I don't think we're getting more. That was the definite ending.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like they promoted it as a limited series, but as soon as it went live, it like no one said anything about being a limited series.
Because I feel like even if they do another one, they'll just do another, like, Ryan Murphy loves anthologies, you know? Yeah. So he's done with these characters. We're not going to see them again.
But they're going to pop up, and they're going to be, like, interwoven. Like, their paths are going to cross. Yeah,
we're going to get another one where it's, like, 1950s, and they're making Jim Parsons movie or something, which personally I don't think would make a good season, but...
Oh, and then at the very end, Jim Parsons' character goes to Avis at the funeral, mind you, at the funeral, and is like, you know what, Richard, like, he came to terms with his life, and I think we need, and like Rock and Archie, like, they live their lives freely, and like he had just come to terms with his sexuality as well, and he was like, we need to make a gay love story, which yeah, sure, we do, but timing, love, he doesn't know anything about timing, and also with his ideas for Meg, the musical number, he had one good idea for Meg, and that was like to rewrite the ending.
Yeah.
And that was it. And like I just don't think how that was proven. And like I get Avis was like emotional in that time, and like she lost like a dear friend. So like obviously she would do anything to like try to let his memory live on. But I just don't like that he was the person that came to that conclusion.
Right.
I hate that because not at one point, and also so he traumatized Rock and then tried to apologize to him in public. Like,
but I also but I also like that Rock was very much like no.
Yeah.
Like like I don't know. I think he said like you're forgiven, but like I'm not gonna.
He's like I get. Like, he doesn't accept his apology though.
Yeah, he's like I'm not like you literally traumatized me.
Yeah.
And you have to live with that. Like, I'm moving on, but you're going to have to deal with that because that's you did that to me.
Yeah. And there's so many goddamn characters and, like, literally only 7 hours of content.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, final thoughts. Okay, let's rate it something out of something, but I don't know what. What's something like Ryan Murphy related? Murphy's. I'm like trying to think of something, but I don't know.
I'm trying to think of something funny that was in the show. Oh, there was one thing Jim Parsons' character called Rock, and I think it was funny. It's Thick Country Piece of Ass. So
how many big country pieces of ass out of 10 do we rate this show? Okay.
I rate it a cool 6.8 thick country asses out of 10.
You were getting very specific with the numbers. Okay.
You don't have to.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I was gonna give it a 7, but then I remembered that like what?
I was also gonna give it a 7, but I was like, it doesn't. I feel like that's too high.
I feel like that's too much for it. Sorry. I apologize to everyone involved. I know you don't care, but you don't even know this exists. Huh?
We give it a bad rating, but we still liked it.
Yes. Well, if there's a second season about Jim Parsons' movie, I will watch it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'll probably feel the same way as I feel about this one.
And then we'll watch season 3. Like, that's how it works. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Those are final thoughts.
Absolutely freaking everywhere, but I hope it makes some sort of sense to anybody. Next episode is going to be Glee season 1.
We're starting with Glee.
Episodes 1 through 11. And I have a lot of feelings about it.
Oh, me too.
I actually have so many notes. I have 3 pages of notes, and I'm not done.
The first 11 episodes of Glee?
Yeah.
Okay, Glee, there's a lot to talk about with Glee. A lot to talk about.
I'm excited for that because that is where the passion lies. Because we watched it when it was like when we were like not supposed to be watching it when we were like children.
Yeah.
And now we're watching it as adults.
And I think also like, first of all, Glee was very much the whole reason we started this. Like it's literally in the name. But
yeah.
Hollywood just came out first, so we're like, well, might as well start with this one. It's only 1 season, like quick and easy. But Glee is 6 seasons. It's all over the place. So many things have happened since then. Like you can watch the show with like a completely different.
Yeah,
we'll get into it next time. But
like I'm gonna talk like personally. I'm gonna talk about like how I felt like when I was a child, and then how I feel now, and like how like I think also like it shaped our comedy. Like it did. Like our TikTok humor and like our like weird sense of humor. Like Glee, iCarly shaped it.
All the sarcasm and the witty like one-liners, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Like dark humor. And like that's why like I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna talk about Glee next week.
Yes. Thank you for listening because podcasts are everywhere. Everyone and their mother has a podcast. So thank you for listening to this one. We talk too much, we know. This one. Yeah.
We doubt it.
It's okay.
We have, but
even
at the end of the day, it's just.
Yeah, even if nobody's listening, we'll make 20 episodes of the Glee. We'll do The Politician, American Horror. Like we're gonna do all of these whether you want it or not. So